What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Amazing Spider-Man Venom with Symbiote Blast by Toy Biz. Now, I love Toy Biz, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge collector of Toy Biz, and I try to collect anything and everything Toy Biz has done as much as possible, because I love the toys that and collectibles that they have put out during the run, And it wasn't always known as Toy Biz. They did change towards the end of their run, the Marvel Entertainment Company, I think. But that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about Toy Biz. No. We are here to take a look at this Venom with Symbiote Blast. Now, I got this recently from eBay a while back, sometime in 2022, and I'm very happy to get it because I needed a monster Venom to represent my collection, and I didn't really. I mean, it's cool looking, but I'm not really a big fan of the monster Venom that Hasbro put out. But this right here in front of me is my monster Venom. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. So, it comes in this big old clamshell style packaging, and it has a little photo right here, Venom Symbiote Blast, and then it says Toy Biz down here worldwide, and then try me, see back, and then up here it has the Amazing Spider-Man, ages 4 and up, and that's me, and we got the Marvel logo right there on the top right hand corner, and we have the famous KB Toy sticker, and at this time when this came out it was $8.99. Now imagine this was $8.99 today. I'm sure we have a lot of happy collectors. So I figured this size today would be about this would be a deluxe figure, and or maybe a bath figure. But if this was a deluxe figure, this would probably be about $40, give or take. So, now looking at the back, the packaging, and here, Amazing Spider-Man. So, if you want to take a read, pause the video, you can read that. And then Symbiote Blast, and then here, it tells you, it says try me, press the button right there, and then it gives you all the instructions on what everything does. So we'll take a closer look at that once we get to figure out the packaging. And then here is some more figures from this line or wave. But I do really want to get the Howling Wolf, Man-Wolf, and he's pretty up there in price, it's not cheap. So I'm going to play the waiting game for that. So once I find a good deal, I'll pick them up. Not too crazy about the rest of these, so I'm going to have these on pass. So, but I do want him. Proof of purchase, Venom, down here, Toy Biz Worldwide. So there's a number right there if you want to call and check it out. If you're having issues with your Toy Biz figures, don't know if it's still working, but it might be. You never know. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get this Venom out of its packaging. Alright, so we finally got Venom out of its packaging, and I must say, straight out of the packaging, I didn't know what to expect because all the Toy Biz legends that I have are, used and, been worn, played with, and stuff like that. So I've never really actually held or had a figure like fresh out of its packaging. And I must say, I'm very impressed of how the joints are on this thing. Haven't been moved or touched or anything till now, and the joints are really tight and they're really hard to move at times. But once you kind of get them loosened up a little bit, they work out fine. He stands great. I know a lot of people have an issue with the ball joints for the legs and stuff. But it works out fine for me, at least for this particular figure. And I really do like the feel and how it feels in hand and how the joints are and stuff. So even though it might be a little outdated for today's times, but I'm for what it was back then. And this figure came out, let's see, when did this figure came out? It came out in 2005. So it still holds up to this day as far as the movement goes and the joints go and stuff. It still has a lot of single jointed elbows and knees and stuff like that, while a lot of the figures these days are now transitioning into double jointed knees and elbows and stuff. But it still does its thing. I'm very impressed with it. So let's go ahead and move Venom out of the way, and we'll take a closer look at its accessory. So this is the accessory that goes around his arm, and this is the firing mechanism, and this is packed in with a lot of details, even though it's molded in a black plastic. But as far as detail goes, it's very nice, and it fits the figure. It blends in for what it's going for. And then here is the missile that it comes with. So really, really like that detail. Beautiful sculpting, and that's one thing about Toy Biz I love so much, is when it comes to their Marvel Legends, even though majority of their figures are outdated, but when it comes to detail and paint, it's top notch. Hasbro doesn't even do that. Just being honest. They do on certain things, but majority of the stuff, they're not packed with detail and paint like Toy Biz did. So really like that a lot. Love the mouth on this thing. So the eyes, just top notch. And just slide this thing in. So you get that little click in. And it does have a powerful blast to it. So very cool. Alright. On to Venom himself. Go ahead and stand him up. Let me raise the camera up a little bit so we can get a little bit more. Alright, so as you could tell, look, I just love the way this thing looks. Beefy. This is the way Venom should be in his large form, even though he can get bigger. But when I think of Venom as a monster Venom, this is what I think of. So, and really love the texturing and the details that the Toy Biz put in. Oversized back and shoulders and arms. I mean, this guy is huge. So the only downside that I wish they would have when it came to the paint and the symbol, the spider symbol, is that they would have included it right there. Even though they have it on other figures, but I think it would have stand out a little bit more if they would have added the white right there. That's the only knock. But as far as the head sculpt goes, this thing is incredible. Now, keep in mind that the head of this is it has a rubbery feel, because that ties into the action feature in the back. But the head sculpt itself, it's got the rubbery feel, but the tongue it's hard plastic. So very detailed right there. Got the little green slime to it and stuff. Really like that a lot. So I do want to be able to collect all the different types of size of Venoms and stuff. I do want to get the original Toy Biz that came into the one of the box sets, Spider-Man's box sets. I want that one to go along with this one. I do have another Toy Biz Venom that we'll compare him to here in a little bit. But this thing is amazing. Love the details. I know I keep saying it. Sound like a broken record, but it's true. Look how the detail is on the forearm, triceps, biceps, and everything. Hand, abdomen. legs, the thigh muscle, and overly sized calves. There's the feet. So, very nice. So when it comes to the action feature to this thing, the button right there, you just press it and you can tell that the thing just, the mouth opens a little bit wider. So, it looks like it's just gnawing on his tongue. But I love it. So, great detail on the head. So, when it comes to articulation, like I said, straight out of the box, the only thing that might be a little loose is the ab crunch right here. Not really an ab crunch, but you know, go forwards. Well, yeah, it is an ab crunch. Doesn't go backwards that much, but it does go forward quite a bit. So the ab crunch right there is pretty good. And you got the swivel at the waist. And then when it comes to the arms, you know, it's on a ball and hinge at the shoulder. So it is, like I said, it is a little tight. It does take a little minute to move it. So the arms go forward and backwards. You get the swivel at the bicep. You know, only that way. Doesn't really go. You have to really bring out the shoulder in order for it to get a full rotation of it, you know, if you want a full rotation. But when you have it down, excuse me, it doesn't go very far as the rotation goes. So you essentially have to have the arm out in order to get the full rotation of the bicep, if that's what you want to do. And then we got the hinge, single hinge at the elbow. So joints are stiff, which is fine, you know. I don't really pose a whole lot when it comes to my figures, when it comes to articulated figures. I'm just not very good at posability. I try, but it looks ugly. But the cool thing with the hand, you get the ball and hinge at the hand. And then with the fingers, each little finger, with the exception of the thumb, has a articulated joint right there, so that's pretty cool. And then you got the ball joint right there at the legs, right there, here attached to the hip. A lot of people didn't like the old Toy Biz style when it came to the ball joints. So forwards, backwards, side to side. And then you got a full rotation with the leg. And then as far as joints go, you do got a double jointed knees. Sweet. That's cool. Get the pins right there. And then the ankle, you don't have the ankles go up and down. And then you got the pivot at the ankles here, side to side. As my boy Venom Fang always says, on the lean. So, and then you got articulated toe right there, foot. So overall, you could probably still, to this day, this came out in 2005, you can still get some pretty cool, crazy looking poses, you know. I mean, it will hold, because you see how I struggled just trying to get the shoulders and elbows and knees to bend and all that kind of stuff. So it's freshly out of its packaging. So let's go ahead and put this blaster thing on. So give me a second. You know, I don't want to be struggling on camera. Alright, so we did figure out how to do it. So we're going to attach this to the right wrist of the figure, like this. So it'll be like it's on its side, And then we'll just put the projectile right there. So there he is with his accessory hooked up to its arm. There. Very cool. There we go. You like that? Alright. So, he's already locked and loaded. Alright. So, with that out the way, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons real quick. And as far as the other Venom goes that I have in my collection, I have the Mac Gargan. I hope I pronounce his name right. I think that's how you say it from what I remember. Not always the best when it comes to human host's name when they're transformed to their respective abilities, like the Scorpion. So Mac Gargan, I think from what I remember, I think that's his name. So we have the Monster Venom next to the Mac Gargan Scorpion Venom right there. So these are probably the two favorites that I have in my collection, even when I add some more to it. Really like the looks and the aesthetic of both of these. So, like I said, on the arm, I really wish they would have put the white right there on there. So I think that would have made it stand out a little bit more. So really happy to have these in the collection. So looking forward to adding more Venoms to my collection. And I know there's another variant of that one, so I do want to get that one as well. Don't have to have the actual projectile to it, but if it comes with it, so be it. If I get it loose, I'll be fine with it too as well, Alright, so let's move that out the way. And let's bring in Riddick from the Sota Toys Chronicles of Riddick line. And go. So that's a 6-inch scale figure. So looks great. Let's see, good size what the human would look like compared to Monster Venom. Even though I know that Venom is not as large as the actual Monster Venom that Hasbro put out, it's still my Monster Venom, Alright, so let's go for one more size comparison. And we have Spider-Man next to this Venom, and this is one of the many Spider-Mans that Toy Biz had put out, and it took me a second to stand him up because he's really loose, and so it took a minute to kind of get him in a position where he could actually hold his stance. But I wanted to show you the size. I love how the scaling is with Spider-Man and Venom, so that's pretty awesome right there. So I really do like that scaling. So, my final thoughts of this thing, I really love this figure. I think it's a great addition to my collection. It represents Venom very well. I could do without the accessory that comes with it. I would have just been happy without it. But it's still a cool little piece that goes with it. So, I have to include it with it. Even though it looks a little silly on it, hanging off its arm like that, but it's still a cool little piece, little accessory that goes with him. So very happy to have him overall, and I love this figure. I mean, it's such an awesome figure, very detailed. Loved everything about it, and yeah, I can't stop. Just I can't put it down because I've just been playing with it for the longest, and But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of this Venom. Do you have this in this collection or in y'all's collection? Have you had it before? Let me know what you think of it. And where's the wisdom? Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you'll always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.